Hi, Alex. How are you? Hi, Josh. I'm good. How are you? I wanted to say, like, yeah, that little like ebook that I made, I finally put it on a bio site. So I linked that in the description. I did that super quickly just before going live. But if you guys want to support me and get the book, it's there. What is this? Amazing. How are you guys doing? I don't know why, but I'm cold today. What's happening? Hi, Jason. So I have on this like giant oversized hoodie. And honestly, I could have my space heater going, but I'm trying to be a rational human being. Hi, Sleepy. What's going on? Ooh. Hi, Davy Jones. I'm doing good. How are you? I'm remembering the days when I would get ready before going on camera. And I would be like, oh no. Oh no, I need to, I don't know. I'm remembering the days I used to be nervous about these lives. It's funny how that went away. And now I'm like, meh. I'll do my hair on the live. Like, I'll get stuff done while I go live. Hi, Andres. I also need to set a vibe. Let's do the candles. Let's do it. This candle is called, I just want the job of naming. I want the job of naming things. I want to name candles and paint swatches and lip balms. How do they get that position? This candle is called White Sails. I think it smells like that. So what's this supposed to smell like? Like I'm a boat person. Like I'm one of those boat people. And I have the shoes and the soft linen shirts. Right? Is that what it is? I wear stripes, but like ironically or unironically, I don't know. Ugh. Get a job, make me. Can you? Hi, Amberly. What's going on? Hi, Matthew. No, oh yeah, I didn't go live on. I don't have the time these days to go live on the Wednesdays. Unless you guys make a ruckus, I'm not gonna be doing that for the summer, I don't think. So I didn't go live on Wednesday. But thanks for being here. Well, they're so quiet in the chat. What's been going on in your lives? I want to hear about it. What was the hottest day of my life? Like temperature wise or or oh, thanks, Amberly. Is that really your name? That is gorgeous. Emberly? Ember? I've never seen that. I have a little something. It is what it does. Thanks for clarifying that. The hottest. I remember a server day because I used to be a server, and I think it was. I don't know Fahrenheit, so sorry. I live in Celsius. It was 40 degrees Celsius, which is, I don't know, what is that? Like 100 degrees Fahrenheit? I don't know. 40 degrees is like, is it allowed to go up that high? It's not. It's not allowed to do that. Like typically in Canada, it can get to like 30, 32, 40. What's happening? So yeah, it was 40 degrees and I remember I was serving and it was disgusting. And I couldn't believe that anyone was outside and like wanting to go to a restaurant. And we had like an outdoor terrace and we had the inside of the restaurant. The inside was air conditioned, but people kept asking to go sit on the terrace. And I was like, what is wrong with you people? And I just remember the thing about like having to serve on the terrace. You don't actually want to put people in your section out there because then you have to go out there and go check on them. It was just like the funniest, craziest day I think I've ever lived. Nothing felt real. Yeah, that was the hottest day of my life. What was yours? My jumper's so cute. Thank you. Hey, Private, what's going on? But I love when it gets so hot. I love when it gets so hot and it gets kind of absurd. Like, what's the point? Like, everyone's just a fuzzy mess. It just feels like, you know what? It's like a really good, what's the right word? There's a word for this. It's just like everyone's dealing with the same thing. Everyone's subject to the same thing. So we're all like equally messy. It's really nice. It's really freeing. You can't like put effort into your appearance or like your demeanor or anything like that. You get very honest in extreme temperatures, don't you? You started watching House. I never watched House, actually. Hugh Laurie. You like it? You have rain outside. I love the rain. I should come to Australia then? Because it's hot? Maybe. I was trying to think. Australia doesn't have, it's like California, right? It's like desert heat. I think I prefer, do I prefer desert heat to humid heat? I don't know. I like everything. I can't choose. What about Twin Peaks? Yo, I haven't gotten around to it. I haven't been watching really anything this week. Sorry, I've been really busy. But it did like spontaneously come up on my feed in some capacity. Yo, is it David Lynch? I think we talked about this last time. But also gets hotter in the UK. I didn't realize that it didn't snow very much in the UK. Like it doesn't actually get very cold. I just kind of assumed. Yeah, it gets, I would say the weather's just more extreme. So we get lots of cold and then we get lots of heat. And because I'm like in Montreal, it's an island, it's very humid. It can be very humid in the summer, which my hair loves. Hi, Martin. Oh, how are you? Yeah, we talked about this. David Lynch. Okay. I go through these periods where I'm like really good about, where like I'm really into like watching all of the work of a certain director or like a certain actor or, and I haven't been in one of those periods for a while, so maybe I need to go on a David Lynch kick. I feel like I should. Like it feels negligent of me to be in this industry and not really, you know. What have you guys been watching? Also, what happens that suddenly summer takes over and like all you want to do is watch trash? Like, why do you want to watch trash in the summer? What's happening there? I don't have a Netflix account anymore, but I'm like, give me those like stupid Love Island shows. Where are they? How are you? You are burning to a crisp. Oh, wow, it's really hot. Martin, I missed you. You are burning to a crisp. Like a crisp? Like, wait. Like a chip? Right? Is that where the expression comes from? This is so stupid. I always forget what's like chips and what's crisps. Crisps. Matthew. Measurable snow. Yo, do you guys like winter or summer? Pick. It's now congratulations. Okay. Yo, I didn't install normally I install like a window AC into my room, and I think I'm just gonna skip it this year because I'm gonna be like European and no artificial air for me, I think. Private, I missed you too. Okay. So you're like, yeah. I'm not gonna say anything about you being a steak. I'm not gonna pursue this joke anymore. Because I could say something about it, but I won't. You prefer the winter? Yo, I think I'm a winter girly too. No, shut up. I love everything. I love the summer. But I do wonder what happens that I'm just like, I kind of want to be a bit brain smooth in the summer. I'm like, okay, day drinking. Day drinking is a thing, I guess. And let's watch trashy rom-coms and live off of Diet Coke and fruit. You miss winter already? Heal private? You can ask. You can ask. Enrico, hi. Hi. Hi, friend. I've been meaning to respond to you. Thanks for being here. I've been meaning to respond to you. And I'm really sorry for not responding. How are you doing? How's teaching? Are you done? Do you get the summers off? How long did it take to shoot all the scenes? I think in total, I'm trying to remember. I think it was like, I think it got split up. I think it was 2 weeks initially. And then I remember taking some vacation time for myself, and I went to Iceland with my sister, and they needed me back for another week of shoots, and I had to shorten my trip, which was disappointing, but you know, needed to be done to get the performance we needed. We had to do some reshoots. And we had to do some reshoots, and like, you know, you guys know like ADR and like audio dubbing, right? And you have to get the timing just right. And I remember needing to get the timing just right on, and like the inflection of my words just right, but also needing to do that with my body. I forget why. And that was like, I don't know how I did it. I did it. There was like a really, really great day where I was just like really in the zone. And I remember Footy, the director, after the take, oh my God, it was like one of the best reactions I've ever gotten from a director. He was like, how did you do that? It was the best reaction I ever got. Footy. Love Island. I don't even remember. I just think of Love Island for those shows, but I'm not even certain that I've seen Love Island. For some reason, my favorite reality TV show is Your Perfect Match. I just remember really getting into that one. Perfect Match. Oh, and I also, wait, is Love Island? What's the Korean one? I really like that one. I really like that one because I like the commentators. And I love how like innocent everyone is. They're like, oh my God, I was just so into it. What's that Korean show? I remember there's this season where like the girl doesn't want to get in the pool because, oh no, she's in a bathing suit or something. And then finally she gets in, and that's a big deal. And then the guy like literally like reaches out his hand, and they like, I feel like I talked about this on a live, and they touched fingers. and the Hunger Game panelists, you know, were like, oh, I just love their reactions. Oh my God. It was like the greatest moment in television. It's okay, you're doing fine. Wait, what? You got a chance to work with law enforcement, protecting staff and property. Is everything okay? Everything's okay. All right. I'm glad. Okay, I think I'm gonna, do you guys have any more questions? Otherwise, I'm gonna talk about this week's topic. There's some students that are violent. Yeah, for what it's worth, like both my sister and my brother-in-law work in schools, and my brother-in-law especially he's like an assistant, like a helper. So he often gets assigned to kids with special needs. And also just because schools, I think, are predominantly lots of women. He's this like big guy, so just like his presence alone is kind of stabilizing, especially for kids who can be so violent. So he's told me some stories, and I'm always like, what's going on there? Like how is an 8-year-old? I don't know. I feel for people who are trying to help those kids. Hi, Juan. You don't want to start a controversy? I know how to say words. You can bring a topic. I don't have to respond to it, right? But always offer whatever's on your mind. Where is Fatal? Yeah. So I hear stories from my brother-in-law. I hope it's rewarding too, though. Dude, thank you so much, Josh. Let me know what you get out of it. I so appreciate you. Working. Okay. I'm going to talk about... Why did I want to talk about this? I was thinking about the word surrender. I think it's because I was watching something last night. And they were talking more about like trust. Trust is like, it's the best game you can engage in, actually. And the thing is, I like these words. I like these words like trust or faith or surrender. This is why I think surrender is like such a friggin' juicy word to dig into, because the fact it reframes these concepts. It reframes like what's actually happening moment to moment, instead of thinking of it like mindset or belief, especially. I feel like people get caught on this word like belief, but if you think more in terms of like faith or trust or surrender, you think more of like gravity. You think more of like something that you're falling into, something that's just there to catch you no matter what, something that's just there. So it doesn't even matter what you consciously are like, I believe this. It's like, yeah, I know you think you believe that, and I know you say you believe that, and I know you worry about like what you believe or all of that, and it feels very busy and like this thing that you actively have to do. But the fact, like, I forget who said this once, but it was like, even if you're like, oh, I know that there's no such thing as death, and like when you die you go to a better place. Okay, I know you say that, but at the same time, like, your physiological reaction when someone passes is actually showing you the truth of like what that actually like, that's nice that you believe like, they're always with me or something, but what do you actually feel? Like, how do you actually respond to it? And so I think like the word surrender or like trust, like, what are you falling into? What do you continuously fall back on? What is constantly there catching you? And when you start to think of that as that, like, your beliefs are like this net constantly keeping you in place in like a really nice, secure way, right? Like, beliefs are there to hold you up, are there to like keep you in a semblance of reality that actually is supportive. And at one point in time, those beliefs like kept you alive. So if they're snagging on something at this point, it's because you've outgrown the environment in which those beliefs were useful. You've outgrown it, but you keep doing it because it worked in the past, and you think like you're not safe without it. You think either like you're not safe or you're violating something, like you're gonna get in trouble or it's wrong. So you're constantly trusting something, you're constantly falling back, you're constantly surrendered to something, some concept of what reality is, of what you are. Like you're surrendered to a version of yourself that you really believe yourself to be. So you fall back on your shyness, or you fall back on your self-doubt, or you fall back on your self-criticism, or your self-hate, or your discouragement, or your giving up, or your body size, or your whatever it is, or you fall back on, oh yeah, my friends, or you fall back on like, it's all gonna be okay. You fall back. What is actually there to catch you at the end of the day when you're like not thinking, and what's just there? Do you know what I mean? Like what is like holding everything up? What's the netting? I don't know if this is Neville Goddard or if it's Edward Art Supply Hands. Is that how he goes on YouTube? I love his talks. He mentions the state that you live in is like, imagine you're watching sports and your team scores a goal and everyone's like up in the stands, like shouting, shouting, shouting. And it's what you come back to after that really exciting high. That's actually your normal, right? That thing that you come back to, that's like, okay, the excitement's over. This is life. That sense of like, this is life. That's what you want to pay attention to. And the fact is that like, you get to choose. Like, what are you choosing to fall back on? What are you choosing to say, okay, that excitement's over. Now I go back to life. Now I go back to myself. What have you decided that is? What do you continuously fall back on, right? Because that's the thing that's safest and most real, most substantial to prop you up, right? And what if instead of like kind of scarcity thinking and like survival thinking and like, right, I almost need to fall back on my anxiety, or I need to fall back on my figuring out, or I need to fall back on whatever I think is going to keep me alive. What if you actually got to fall back, and this became normal for you, fall back on the fact that you're supported? Like that was your normal state. That you fall back on like everything always works out for me. And so something bad happens or something surprising happens that you're like, what's this? And that's like the exciting sports moment. Oh, we almost got a goal and then like we didn't, or one of the team members is like injured or something like that. And that like really eye-catching, like that catching thing gets you. And then you fall back on like, oh yeah, but like my team wins. My team always wins. I always win. Like it's gonna be okay. It's always gonna be okay. This is actually always to my like highest, greatest good. This is working out for me. It always works out for me. What if you fall back on that? Because the truth is like, you're always falling back on something. So why would you choose to fall back on the opposite? That's no more substantial than the positive. Do you get it? This isn't like positive thinking. I hate when people minimize this to that, because I'm like, there's no good or bad. It's just choosing. Like, it's just picking off a menu. And actually, by saying something is positive, the way that people like, when people frame it like that, I can just tell that they're thinking in this like very binary way. That's like, wouldn't it be like they think that it's kind of like rose-colored glasses? Like they're almost like putting this naive tinge to it. Like, oh yeah, you live in like a delusional nice world because you can't handle reality. And it's not that. It's that like reality is you reflected out. So why do you keep like choosing and voting and falling back and trusting and investing and engaging, all of these things that you don't actually prefer? The more that you fall back on something, and then it catches you, right? The more that you make it real. You make it real. It's like every time you trust in something, trust. Sorry, I'm not like an economics girly, but it's like you're paying it almost, right? Like, where's the money going to? Where's your trust going? What are you investing in every time you trust? You fall back on that. And the more that it does catch you, and it does, okay? Admit that it does. The more you go, well, it's not exactly what I want, but it's always there for me. It's always there for me. It does keep me alive, right? It's almost like you're in a relationship. I just really like relating to reality as if it's a relationship. It's like you have a toxic boyfriend, okay? And yeah, he's always there for you. He's always there for you. It doesn't exactly work. It's not actually the life that you want to live, but at the end of the day, he gets you and he understands you and he's there. And you've fallen back on him so many times. There's kind of like this mutual understanding. And you just know, as dysfunctional as it is, it works. It's there for you and it works. And the other things, like, it's not calibrated yet. But the thing is, until you like start trusting the other thing, until you start falling back and making that substantial and making that normal and making that like regulated in your nervous system, and like, oh, this is actually a thing. I actually get to choose what I get to choose what I trust. I get to choose what I fall back on. And instead of like falling back on the thing that's going to be a bit like silk handcuffs, I'm going to choose the thing that's actually good for me, that I actually want. I'm going to stop compromising and being like, well, at least it's something. At least it's something. I'm going to fall back on what I want. I'm going to fall back on like, what if like the money's actually coming to me if you need money? Or what if I'm actually free? Or what if I'm actually beautiful? What if I'm actually attractive? What if I'm actually deserving? What if I get to have the best relationship of my life? What if I get to have friends? What if I get to have excitement? What if I get to have adventure? What if I get to have like joy and engagement and passion? And I'm gonna fall back on those things. I'm gonna surrender to those things and make that inevitable. Make that like it was always there. It was always there. It was just waiting for me to fall back on that, as opposed to the other thing. It was always there. And all I have to do is give myself over to it. It's there. It's literally there. And so your power, actually, I do like agree with this. I don't think like we're creating things. I think we're like selecting, like choosing to focus on, turning our attention to, right? So everything is there. And it's like, what are you giving yourself over to? Your power is actually in your surrender, in your letting go. Do you get that? But what are you letting go to? What are you choosing to have faith in? What are you choosing to give up to? Like, it's that paradox that like your greatest power is like your ability to give up power. So what do you give up power to? What do you actually make bigger than yourself? What do you actually make supportive of you? What do you actually make inevitable or there? And so many people like unwittingly make fear their God in that way. Make survival their God. Make scarcity their God. Make lack or discouragement or restlessness or hopelessness their God. And they return to that. But you can choose anything. So it's not about getting it right, by the way. It's not about like choosing right or doing it right. It's just like moment to moment, like what are you making real? Who are you saying you are right now? If I say to you guys, like right now, you're actually like trusting and having faith in a reality that you perceive as real and that you're choosing to like bet your money on, you know, fall back on. You're like caught in this like beautiful hammock. What's that hammock? What chair are you sitting on today? You know, what throne? Imagine it a throne. Like, what are you sitting on? What are you letting catch you? And why that? If it's not what you actually want, why are you choosing that? Go sit somewhere else. And notice the other people that are the thing is, there's so many other people on this planet. And notice what they're choosing to have faith in. Notice what they always return to. Notice. Like, be observant, be curious about people. What do they trust? What do they trust? What do they put themselves into? Because you start to see that, like, the options are endless. And if ever you find yourself, like, despondent or jealous, what if you trusted the way they did? Why not? It's like when you see someone and maybe, I really like your top, or like, I really like your hairstyle, or I really like your perfume. Where did you get it? Oh, you can steal. You can steal their faith. You can steal their trust, you know? It doesn't belong to them. It's just something they discovered, and you discovered them, so it's for you too. It's available to you too. Everything's available to you. But you want to start thinking more in terms of like, it is like what they believe in, but like, I just love this idea of like what they fall into, what they give themselves over to, what they let catch them. It's a different way of thinking about it, and I think it's really beautiful, and I think it also takes away any kind of stress around like efforting, because it's not like you need to make yourself believe, although like repetition and like reminding and affirming or all of that is like is really 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 powerful. It is. This is more like it's the inverse. It's less active. It's like, yeah, it's just like if I let go to something and let something catch me, I feel like I'm repeating myself endlessly. If I didn't have to do anything and something was just there, what's that thing that's there? And bring your attention to that. Bring your attention to like what's naturally there for you right now, and what it would be like if something else was there for you in that exact same way. Okay, I guess I'm just curious if this all connected and resonated. Do you guys have any questions? Enrico, that's amazing. It is having the thing is like everyone has faith in a higher power, but sometimes their higher power is like life is hard or something like that. Like this like rule that they've decided governs things. What is faith if not that? What is faith if not like, yep, that's what my body is. Yep, this is how people treat me. Yep, this is how much money I can earn. Yep, this is how it feels to be me. Yep, this is how my brain works. And it's none of it's bad. None of it is actually bad. It allows you to have like a human experience. But if you feel, yeah, this reminds me, if you feel like a victim to it. Like you didn't choose it and you just keep having to abide by it. That's where this comes in. You dig it. Hi, Quinn. You don't know what is real. I think, I don't know. I could go into that question so much. I think people are too concerned with what is real and not concerned enough with what do I want to feel? What do I want to choose? If I'm actually making all of this, how am I doing that? And what if I just choose what I want? What happens then? Like, be bold enough to just be like, I don't need to figure it out. I just need to choose. I don't need to figure out how a toaster works. I'm just gonna put the bread in the slot. Alex, so I get this, and I get this at like I think disappointment hurts, honestly. Disappointment is like, disillusionment is like one of the most painful emotions, because you're like, I really thought this time, or like, I really let myself believe, and then when it comes crashing down, you're like, you feel so foolish, or you feel so betrayed, or I don't know exactly what it is for you, but I just want to say like that's very real. And at the same time, to me, that's like information. Like there's something that, like, it working out, it happening the way you want, there's something there that you don't actually feel you're allowed to like fully give yourself over to, because this is what I want to say. We give meaning to everything. So the first signs of like it not working out, you're interpreting it like, oh, this isn't working out, I was wrong. If you absolutely had faith, it's gonna work out. Then the signs of like, oh, maybe not, you would be like, I'm just gonna keep going. I don't care if things aren't perfect, if it looks really messy. I know the end of the movie. I have stronger faith that it works out. I don't care what these little like traffic signs are maybe wanting to tell me. I'm trying to think of a good analogy for that. I don't know. It's like, I'm trying to think of cooking, like certain things where you're like, where it like has to set. Like if you make a cake and you didn't know anything about baking, like let's just pretend you didn't know anything about baking. You've never seen a cake in your life. Just stay with me. And someone was like, yeah, so you take eggs and you take flour and you take like all these ingredients and you make it into like this batter, and then you put it into a tin and you add heat. And you would see, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm gonna like do these things. And you would see this batter, this like wet thing, and be like, how is this a cake? What even is this? How is this a cake? And you're like, okay, I think maybe I messed it up because this doesn't look anything like a cake. And you put it in the oven and you're like watching the oven. You're like, how's this gonna work? What even is this? And let's say like you keep opening the door so it can't actually cook. And then you're like, I must have messed it up. And you just take the cake out and you're like, cake doesn't work for me. Cake doesn't work for me. I don't know this like magic spell that other people are doing, but cake doesn't work for me. The person who's like, who believes in cake is gonna be like, yeah, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it looks like. The end of this, there's cake. And the more that you do that, it's why like starting small can sometimes be really good. Is if it's something you don't really care about, you're like, what's the worst that can happen? I'll just like follow the instructions. I'll just wait till it's cake. I'll just keep going till it's cake because I don't really care. I don't really need the cake. Is that a good enough? I feel like that's not bad. It's not bad. Everything is so difficult. Okay. I kind of do want you to give up, Alex. Again, I want you to feel like, what if you're actually like, you don't have to try so hard. Things work out without you trying so hard. You don't actually have to change anything about yourself. You just have to let go of the idea of having to change something about yourself. The things can fall naturally into place, that you don't have to try so hard. I really do feel like that might be a missing piece for you. Why don't you give up? I'm curious about that. Why don't you give up? I believe in faith, or I believe in belief. Both are true. I think faith is more interesting. Believe and believe. But I think I believe in faith is like more powerful. Like, I think faith has like become out of fashion in some way. So like we feel like more scientific with using words like belief. But I think faith is just like super subconscious, and that's actually where so much power is. There you go. Enrico, yeah. So it's like, what are you... Some of this is also like, what's the big thing that's most important to you? What's the big thing that's most important to you? And that can be family, that can be integrity, that can be your career, that can be anything. But it's like, no matter what, you always go back to that. Yeah, it can be God. Yeah, Alex, but that's okay that you're repeating yourself. And also, I just want to say that like it's natural that you hit snags. It really is. It's really natural. A lot of progress looks like a spiral. And so like, is that right? It like starts from the inside out and it goes like this. Have you ever heard this analogy? And so sometimes when like something comes up again and you're like, I'm still dealing with this, and you can think like you haven't gotten anywhere, but the spacing between those same points keeps getting further and further away. Okay, so you're probably doing, I just feel like everyone needs to know this in general. Everyone needs to know you're doing better than you think you are. You're doing better than you think you are. And Alex, like, I just know you're doing better than you think you are. Even the fact that you're like, I just want to give up, that is like such a good sign. I don't know if you know that. That's such a good sign. Because, yeah, it shouldn't be this hard. Yes, it's not this hard for other people. What if it didn't have to be this hard? What if you let it be easy? What if you stop trying to do everything and manage yourself and control everything? Because you don't actually need to. Because you're enough. Because you're beautiful and life is beautiful. there's this like, I think about this episode all the time. There's this episode of Grey's Anatomy where Meredith has this like teenage patient, and I forget exactly what's going on with her, but she has like a really, really overbearing mom. And Meredith obviously like also has a really overbearing mom. And she says like to the girl, like, you don't know this yet, but life isn't supposed to be this hard. And it's not, or it doesn't have to be. It's like, it's there for you to just enjoy, actually. If you can stop making yourself into a project. And sometimes the overbearing mom, like, we're the overbearing mom to ourselves. Really, really, really trying to make sure that we get it just right because we think that's what's required. You're already perfectly designed for this world as soon as you say you are. And it's just there. Like, it just wants to be experienced. Life. You. It's just there for you to, like, live. Be with. What if you just got to meet it? You didn't have to win it. You just got to meet life. It's a bit like, you know, the advice, like, oh, if you want to get like a girl's phone number, don't be so interested in getting the number. In a way, forget about that. Just ask yourself, like, can I make a friend tonight? Or can I have a connection with someone tonight? And you'll get the numbers that way. You'll meet lots of interesting people that way. Because those stakes, can I make a connection with someone? That can be anything. That could be like eyes across a room. That could be like, I like complimenting them. That could be like making some joke. That could be anything. And then, hey, you've already won. So what if life was like that? It's not about getting the number. It's not about getting life to like submit to you. It's about like, can I connect to life in some way right now and have it be enough and be happy right now? Can I be completely fulfilled right now? It's not something you have to wrestle to the ground. And I know there's a lot of people who will say otherwise, but is that how you actually want to engage in life? Is that how you want it to feel? Is that the experience you actually want to have? Waleed, how are you? Arnav, yo, what's going on? Guitar guy. Yeah, I'm back live. Really nice to see you. Okay, I always end up reaching it. Yeah, Alex, like, you're a fight. Like, you do not give up. You don't. And that's a beautiful thing because it obviously says that, like, part of you knows. Like, part of you knows what you deserve. And that you're gonna get it no matter what. Like, you show up. You're always here. You're always asking questions. You're relentless. You're a beast. You're a beast. I get almost what I'm more saying is I think with you, like, doing less would be amazing for you. You believe in cakes? I believe in the cake. Wait, I believe in cakes. I want that on a t-shirt now. Yeah, take a breath. Exactly what Enrico was saying. Take a breath. Oh my God, sometimes, especially lately, I'm like, if my past self could have just like taken a friggin' moment and been like, girl, what are you doing? And just literally sat with it and been like, what am I doing this for? Why do I think this is the way to go about getting what I want? I could have saved myself so much pain. Just take a breath. Take a breath. What's my favorite sport? Dance. Alex, I don't give up because I don't want to be seen as a failure. Yeah. Okay. You are a project though. What if you're not a project? What if you're already perfect? Like again, like think about if you were in a relationship with someone. You're like dating some girl. And you're like, I love you so much. So you have like flaws and I'm gonna I'm gonna work on you till you're like the shiniest diamond that ever was. And I can see how that feels like love. And in some ways it is love because you see potential there and you have this like incredibly high standard and you just want that diamond to shine, you know? But at the same time, like, don't you think it would be hurtful to constantly be seen as a project? To constantly be like, but you could shine a bit brighter. You'd be like, when is it enough? I'm right here. I'm right here. Why isn't this good enough? At some point, you'd be like, can I just exist in your presence and you can be okay with it? Because that's actually love. And once you see that it's all enough, like the paradox is, like, once you see that, like, actually, like, this is it. Like, all that exists is what you are now, and it's it. It is it. It's all that is. It's it. Then it is. What if you just let things be? What if you let yourself be and actually, guess what? That means you just get to be. That means you're already shiny enough. You're the shiniest thing. Yeah. And we go. I love everything you're saying. You're not a project, honey. Life is a playground. Why not? What if it's just like picking up buckets and toys and you're like, do I want to play with this now? Okay. We're all going the same place. Why do you think who you are right now isn't enough? Like, that's a serious question. What's wrong with right now? And where is it existing that right now isn't good? Where is that actually existing? Amazing. Thanks for being here, Enrico. Thank you. Okay. Andres, what's Hope County based on in Montana? I don't fully know. Like, it is fictional. I don't fully know. I've been to Montana, but only, is that true? Only like the northern part of it. Like, Glacier, so I can't really speak to it. I love when you guys support each other. Oh, I love it. Matrix man, yo, what's up? Okay, it's 1 o'clock. I'm gonna go soon. there's anything else. Nope. Okay. Because y'all aren't projects. You're nowhere near that. How do you know? How do you know you're not near that? Who you want to be, can I say this in a very clean way? Yes, I can. Who you want to be, okay, imagine this, like, if you were the person you wanted to be, where would that awareness of being that person reside? Like, yes, you might have certain objects, but again, you're giving meaning to those objects. You might have certain accolades or certain relationships or certain things, but again, you're giving meaning that those things are confirming you being that guy. Okay. So that awareness of like, I have now become that person. It actually is here. That's where you would be aware of it. Is like in your feeling, in yourself, in your imagination, in your mind, in your sense of like arrival. That's where it would exist. Okay? It's not, it wouldn't actually exist out there. You would give meaning to the things out there to confirm what you are already feeling. Okay? Meaning that that person you want to be is literally a split second away from you. Is literally you just like feeling into like that awareness that you can just turn on, literally like a light switch. That's where it actually exists. That's what you actually, that's actually why you want to be that guy, to have that experience of being that guy. So you can skip in some ways the trying to make it happen. Just keep tuning into, literally tuning it, like tune your guitar, tune into being that guy. And this will change because this is a result of you feeling a certain way and being a certain way and behaving a certain way and responding and reacting a certain way. So tune yourself. I know that sounds like weird, but it's like literally if you have a guitar where like all the strings are like, you're like, why can't I play Hallelujah? Because it's making it a lot harder. Anyway, you're not even inches. It's there. You just have to, the guy you want to be is there. You couldn't be aware of it if it wasn't. It's a feeling. Neville Goddard, it's a feeling. Hi, Tay-Man. You could still, do you have a pilot license? You could still become a pilot. It would be nice. If Faith was a playable protagonist, I would play that game. Okay, I'm gonna go. I love you guys so much. You're all extraordinary. Extraordinary. I am not using that word facetiously, okay? You're extraordinary. And there's nothing you have to do to be that or earn that. It's just about realizing it, remembering that, recognizing that, okay? And I love you so, 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 so much. Reach out to me if you want. You can find my email on the channel. Like I said, I linked I wrote an ebook and I linked my like, what's it called? Like a bio site. If you guys want to purchase it, it's in the description. But I'm here for you. And I believe in you. And I have faith in you. I have faith in you guys. I trust you guys, okay? I trust in who you actually are. I trust in how extraordinary you are. and that everything's always working out for you. Okay. I love you too, Alex. I love you, Enrico. I love all of you guys. Okay, I have to stop. I'm gonna like gush. Okay. Bye.